To those of you who will be watching this later, welcome to the Red Cord. I'm Nikita. It's been a while since I have done a live stream, so I'll just wait for some time to see who all managed to hop on. I just managed to figure out yesterday how to schedule these events or live streams, whatever. So I'm very excited that I've learned something new again. How are you all doing? Since we are waiting, I can at least start with the energies of the past few days, and even it will be continuing for the next few days. Um, you might have been feeling on an emotional roller coaster and not necessarily even know from where the emotions are coming. Some of you might have been triggered by others, that is at least understandable. But otherwise, not just because of the downloads that are coming, not just because of the Schumann resonance, which is spiking on and off, not just the energy waves, not just the old timelines that are collapsing at this time. There are issues which are being brought up to be healed at this time. You are also tapping into the energies of your divine masculine, anyone else who you have a very close equation with, perhaps. And especially if you're a healer like me, or if you're an empath like me, you are sensing pain being released, not just from the collective, but people around you, your family. I know a lot of people don't understand why I have, over the past few years, become pretty much a recluse. Hey, Ravisha, welcome. I'm sorry, I'll have to keep looking down to kind of read comments. I was just giving an introductory, to how difficult the energies have been, a lot of emotional roller coaster, and things are surfacing for various reasons. And few of the various reasons is the spike in the Schumann resonance. There are solar flares. There is, of course, the planetary transits happening right now. So, depending on personal charts of people, but more than that, our upgrades and everything, a lot of timelines are getting collapsed for a lot of people, and they're not aware. So, there might be emotions coming up, and you may not necessarily know from where it is surfacing. Even if you've not met your twin in the physical plane, but if the energy is close, you have been kind of communicating, you might not know it, but it might be happening in your dream state, or you might be being prepared for your meeting. Even then, you could be sensing certain emotions, or purging or clearing them, which are not even yours. And those who have met or are in separation or even together, there is a lot of stuff which is right now being cleared out. Physical health is going to be a massive issue. I will try and talk about it, but if I don't manage to talk about it, I will be making a video on my other channel for what is coming up with Uranus moving into Taurus. And I'm slightly I don't know which word to use right now, but my moon sign is Taurus, and as a Leo, the placement of the of Taurus is my eighth house, which is my career and stuff like that, joint resources and other things. So with Uranus who comes and just starts shaking things up and starts changing things and saying, no, this is redundant, this is old, and this doesn't work. And he just starts chucking things here and there and throwing things out of your life. I'm like, okay, my emotions, that's your moon side, my career. Uh, and I have been for the past 2, 3 months wondering about, um, you know, should I continue? One day I want to continue, one day I want to expand, and the other day I'm like, no, I don't think so. There's not much growth in my channel or whatever. So I'm already been feeling it. So now that you're here, um, I'll start first with fear. Why? Because as I have labeled, I will be talking a lot from my life, and that's why I have labeled it personal share so that people don't think I'm trying to make this whole thing about me. No, I'm sharing my experiences in the hope, as I always have, that it will assist you to analyze or understand what you may be going through, use some of the tools that have helped me, right? So the intention of personal share is not to say, oh, I'm above here and I know more and I know it all. No, we are all on the journey. Some might be a little ahead in some subjects, like in school there are some, students who are way better at chemistry and math, and then there are others who are way better at history and literature. Doesn't mean anyone is ahead of another one. Why is the message is retracted? Okay. So with tears, tears are actually an indication that we are feeling some form of discomfort. So let's begin with one of the deepest rooted ones, which are called fears. When we are born with just two fears. One of loud sounds, bang. I won't go into the theories or suppositions why we have only these two fears right now, because then that becomes a very long video. And the second is of falling down. Everything else is acquired. Everything else has been passed down to us. Everything else is learned. Everything else is not true. Okay? Not true as in it's not ours. So even if it is coming from a past life, even if it is coming from our parents, our culture, our norms, what if you have been taught to fear God because he's punishing, he's judgmental, he nitpicks and he has no better work to do than count how many times you dug your nose or had sex. If that's what you have been taught, you will grow up fearful. If the parenting style of that you received was that of being hit, spanked, yelled at, punished, but was not balanced out with praise where it was appropriate, encouragement, you will have grown up in a fearful environment and you would have thought that is the natural state to be it about love, be it about relationships. Most of our programming is done before we have even turned 5, so which is why it's very hard for us to process or change what we think is love, to understand what is a relationship, give and take. Being the youngest in my family, for example, it would be normal to not have to take decisions, to always be told what to do. Thankfully I was not like that. I was always a rebellious kid. I always made my decisions, but I did face an absentee dad. Most of us do. It's not that our dads want to be absent, but when they're at work and for long, long hours, they're not really present. And I think the only interaction I would generally have Unfortunately, in India, our fathers are not the fun fathers. They don't play baseball with us, take us, for picnics, or it's about either studying, giving us lectures, or they're watching the news, reading the newspaper, or something like that, right? They are physically present but not really there in your life. And we have this learning, this training, that is what a relationship with most men is going to be. So we even if we want something differently, we end up accepting it, and it creates a fissure inside of us. Coming back to fears, what does fear essentially mean is your ego is trying to keep you safe. The benefit of any fear that you might be operating from, and the way to do self analysis or helping yourself while doing inner work, because for deep rooted ones you will need help from a therapist, from a counselor, from somebody, past life regression, whatever. But at least for day to day, where is this fear keeping me safe and complacent? When you're afraid of being alone or lonely, that fear drives you to become a people pleaser. Not necessarily. This I've already addressed, Ravisha. You have to start piecing things together, because I'm not going to answer each small thing. When I talk, in some things they're identical to you, and some things they're polar opposites. I think that explains that, right? Um, in my past video, I have even demonstrated with all different forms of hearts. I hope you found that cute. So, when we become people pleasers, it's actually our ego overwriting our inner intuition about who's vibrationally a match or not, what are we supposed to put up with it or not, where do we have lessons, that gets overwritten by our ego by telling us, no, you need to be a people pleaser, you need to be diplomatic, you cannot be such a recluse because others are going to shun you, they're going to dislike you, they're going to judge you, and it throws up all these fears at you that you're going to probably, and the worst part, if you go to the extreme, it's about dying alone, which has happened to me in one of my past lives when I was thrown out of my community, my tribe, and it was very harsh winters. So being alone in snow brings out a lot of depression in me. Used to. Hopefully that timeline is collapsed. The worst fear becomes I am not capable of self sustaining myself. Otherwise, most of us are in the nine of pentacle energies. Given half a chance, if we had healthy childhood and we were not told we are not enough again and again and again till it became our truth, no child comes with a self consciousness. I'm too fat, I'm too short, I'm too dark, I'm too fair, my eyes are too blue, my eyes are too black, I'm an introvert, I color outside the lines. They love themselves, they accept themselves, they have fun on their own. As a small child, I used to just hold, there used to be a pole, and I used to just keep going around and round on that for hours. And the adults used to be like, Chakkar nahi aata hai kya? They put the thought that I will feel dizzy if I do it for too long, though I didn't. They put their experiences projected on you, and in the name of trying to keep you safe, don't talk to strangers, don't do this, don't go out after the dark. They have seeded their fears into you, and you don't even know where it comes from. It can come from anywhere, from your teachers, your neighbors, your grandparents, your uncle and aunts. Depends on how many significant adults were around you while you were growing up. Thankfully, I had very few, and those who were around were not really around. So isolation is something I have always had. and that is my natural state of being. I don't feel the need to interact with too many people, one or two close people to me, and I'm just happy and fine. Six adults means, Ravisha, not just deprogramming yourself from society, culture, politics, all of that, but all there, what they might have passed down to you, not that they were wrong or the intentions were wrong, they came from a place of wanting to protect you. Wanting to protect you, what they have done is put in a lot of fears. It sometimes get balanced out when one says something and the other says, don't be stupid. If she won't go cycling now, when will she learn how to cycle? You know, when there is an opposing adult who says, no, it's okay, you go, you don't give in to fears. If somebody is bullying you, you do this, and they empower you while somebody has put the program, so you are at least able to look at that situation with two eyes, two perspectives. So when it comes to day fears, it is always somewhere trying to protect you. So you have to ask yourself, what is the benefit I am gaining? Now, benefit people assume is pleasant. No, not necessarily. Like I said, when somebody says don't trust is the subliminal message in what they're trying to say to you. That person is not good, that community is not good, don't, they are very greedy community, that religion is this. They have told you don't trust anything that's not familiar or known or what we have grown up with. And when you have trust issues, it will keep you in severe isolation. You will never open up to new experiences. I find it very strange, and I'm not being judgmental here, to each their own, but when people from our country travel, they want Indian food, they want to wear Indian clothes, they want to meet other Indians. The only thing they do when they travel outside is shop, and most of those brands now are available here. The point of traveling is to leave behind your prejudices, open yourself to new information, to expand and grow, to eat new foods that you've never eaten, to try out new things that you would have never gotten an opportunity to do in your own country, in your own land, in your own city. Unfortunately, in our country, we have, from politicians to religion to everything, that tells us only me and mine are the superior or to be trusted. The rest are all useless, worthless, untrustworthy. And every religion, every caste, every community believes this. Regardless, we are victimized by the other. I will be talking a little bit more again about this in the Uranus video, but since it's come up, whenever you have a political affiliation, and especially as a light worker, you should not be having, there's no should nots, but yeah, you have to start seeing politicians for what they are. They are power hungry. They don't care about anybody but themselves. That's what has brought them into the field of politics. And especially if you're affiliated, if you're supporting even energetically a party, please ask yourself a few questions. If there's someone who supports separatism, divide and rule, saying one particular religion, caste, community is superior than another, they're taking you away from your light. They're taking you away from oneness, from a collective love. They are keeping you away from your twin flame, true love, because they are keeping you rooted in the belief that your religion is superior to another's. And if your twin belongs to something else, some other country, race, they're not going to come in because your energies are not welcoming. Okay. Um, how do we deal with fears? It's going to sound very cheesy, facing them. I'll come to that in a second. Let's talk about impatience. What is impatience? It's another form of fear. It's another form of fear that it's not happening as I wanted it or on my schedule, my timetable when I anticipated it, the eyes, and I don't trust God will show up. I don't believe my twin flame will show up. I don't believe there's a solution inside because I can't see it yet. I am not seeing evidence as yet. So I will choose to force. My ego will tell me, take charge of the situation. You call up your twin. You do this. And it gets you impatient. I want to see results now. That's what your ego is pushing you. If you start paying attention to what your ego is feeling and saying, just by the fact that you bring it to your awareness, you take away its control. And you will stop reacting from your ego. You will recognize it. You will check if there's any merit in it. Is it resonating with your intuition? People a lot of times get confused and they say, but Nikita, my intuition was telling me to reach out to him. No, it wasn't your intuition, it was your emotion. It takes a hell lot of patience, practice to differentiate between the voice of your ego, the voice of your brain, the voice of your emotions, and then comes the voice of your intuition. And then there's a separate, for people like me, there's a separate voice for spirit guides, masters, angels, which is why I wait for several validations, because there was a time when I was like, I don't know if this is my own or am I really getting this channeled message. So we it was a back and forth, and we settled on, I will get a certain song x amount of times, I will receive a certain keywords a couple of times randomly, or it will be supported by certain number synchronicities, I will get true chills no matter how hot it might be. So we had to come up with a system for me to know I'm not making this up. So whenever you're impatient, know that you're in fear. Guilt is usually about fear of getting karma back, facing the consequences, of being afraid of what you have done to someone, be it now or in the past, coming back at you, your animus. Anger is a defiant fear. And there are two kind of fears. One that makes you feel helpless, puts you in depression, lethargy, inaction, four of cup energy. You're demotivated, you are filled with anxiety, and the more anxiety and stress there is in you, the less you're able to perform. Then comes fear that says, F it, F this, or F that, and starts blaming others and saying, this person makes me so angry. No one can make you angry. You're choosing to react or respond in anger. You may not approve of a certain behavior, but nobody can make you feel or not feel something. Is my voice coming? I just realized my earphones had disconnected. Can you just tell me if my voice is okay? Thanks. So, anger is a little higher on the chart of fear, but the root is still fear. When you get angry, You have to not just understand where the anger is coming from, but also what is the fear connected to it. For example, when somebody molests you and on the road, of course, should we get angry? Yeah. I'm not saying I'm not saying you shouldn't be. I'm just explaining the process. What makes you angry is what if I had not reacted, or what if this had gone to another extent. There's fear of physical or emotional hurt and pain. Now we come to my topic for today, pain. That's what your ego is always trying to save you from. Ego does not like change, it wants everything to go as per a plan. Do you know Joker from Batman? No matter how heinous the plan is, people are okay with it end of the day because they know the plan. And right now, the universe is deliberately not showing us much. And if you've noticed, ever since the universe started limiting what we could see into the future, in the sense of predictability, a lot of people have been promising union, union, union. I haven't, because I am not seeing it yet. I'm not seeing enough progress yet. I'm not seeing enough inner work have been done, at least for those who I am connected with. I'm seeing them still in the ego, wanting things in the way it has always been. Relationship for them still means commitment, marriage. Love is still about adjustment, sacrifices, selling yourself short. Unconditional love for them is chutiapa. Sorry, it is. Okay. There is a lot of growing, learning, inner work to be done right now, but they want to, just you have mixed the flour, the sugar, the milk, the egg, and the butter to make a cake, but without greasing the tin, without putting it into the oven before first icing it after it's cooled down. You want to directly put cherry on the top? Not gonna happen. Universe doesn't work like that. When you're ready, that's when certain things will be put into motion. And when things are set into motion, a lot of times your eyes are blocked. Why? Because the abyss is so deep, or what's going on over there is so frightening. You would not be able to walk in faith if you could see it. The emotions I have been picking up on from my twin over the last few days, on and off, is of immense confusion, grief, of loss, of giving up, a lot of that. On the surface, he might be showing everyone he's hunky dory, all is good. It's not the truth. But till he doesn't address it, there's no point in him being brought back to me, because nothing has changed. Nothing has shifted inside of him, right? That's where your faith comes in. That's where you have to continue doing what you are doing. Do I get shaken up? Yeah, I do. Do I wonder? Yeah, I do. What do I do then? I cry, and then I connect with God. I send up my parcel. I ask Him if there is something I can be shown, if there is something He could tell me that would help me understand and anchor me again, and I continue. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to recollect where I was going with this. Pain. We don't like change. We don't like things to be unpredictable. We don't like things to be unseen, unknown, which is why a lot of people are okay blindly following someone they think has the answer. and they just keep following without thinking, without questioning. One of the reasons I keep telling people it's great if you have a guru, a teacher, or a sangh that you're following. After you reach and cross 4D, if your teacher is not telling you to now find your own inner truth, find your own path, your teacher is codependent on your energy. Your teacher should not need throngs of people, praise, energy in the sense of, oh, you are divine, you are this, and I am the only one who gets messages from God, and only I know how to heal you. A true teacher would teach you how to heal yourself. They would teach you how you can connect with your God, with your masters, with your higher self, and live your life. Except they can be there as friends or check in on you as a mentor, but they would not say my way or the highway. I will tell you what to eat, what to do, when to meditate, when to. They would not take your personal power away from you. But people love those kind of people who tell them, I have the solution for your problem, because then they don't have to do all the thinking, analyzing, learning, inner work. They want ready made food and instantly. Right now, nothing is going to happen instantly. There's no instant gratification. And I'm seeing a lot of people not wanting to watch videos because it's not talking about unions. They're like, I'm tired of this. Because it was your assumption this is where it's headed. Do I personally believe those twin flames who will meet or have already met? True twin flames, not catalyst, not just a strong attraction that you have labeled as twin flame, where you have been shown again and again by the divine this is your true twin flame, where you have a long journey behind you. It was from meeting my catalyst to meeting, not meeting, but me recognizing my twin flame was a good 10 years. Before my catalyst, I met my soulmate, my karmic. I healed a lot of those situations. So, pain is something when we are crying. The title of my video today, I'm not afraid of tears. Neither should you be. But your tears should not be wasted. Make sure your pain, your tears are helping you, are being put to good use. Instead of sitting and crying and waiting for someone, being abused by someone, ill treated by someone, not being given your dues by someone, and sitting and crying, waiting, it's better to move away and cry while healing yourself, letting go of them, at least energetically. If they are yours, they will come right back to you. When you love someone, set them free. If they are yours, they'll come back. If they don't, they never were. Right? Good riddance to bad rubbish. I mean, they're not bad rubbish, they're bringing you good experience regardless. So many people put their life on hold and then they're like, but I want to do this with my twin. And I keep telling them, but what if there are lessons for you to learn from your karmic, from your soulmate, from a conscious partner? A few weeks ago, I asked, would you guys like to know more about what is conscious partnership, how you can have that? I did not get a single response. They just want to be in a regular relationship but want to feel it special by labeling it twin flame. That's not how it works. When you want something there, When you want the best, you've got to be the best. You've got to be worthy of that, not the other way around only. When you want a gold medal at Olympics, you don't train for half an hour. You train day and night for years and for hours every day. You change your diet, you change your lifestyle, you sacrifice a lot to get there, to get it. It's a long journey. It's not going to be instant, but your tears, if they are just doing the work of catharsis and you're not using it to go in to learn more about why is it hurting so much, which fear of mine, which aspect of mine, which shadow of mine is trying to communicate with me, then your tears are wasted. Don't be afraid of pain. Don't be afraid of change. Don't be afraid of hard work, be it on yourself or in the relationship. Don't be afraid of going it alone for a long time. Be afraid of settling. Be afraid of mediocrity. Be afraid of having a vanilla relationship, vanilla flavored relationship and marriage, where you're just there, where there's no passion, where your eyes and your heart don't light up every time you see that person. Be afraid of tepidness, of routine, of placidness. Don't be afraid of diving deep. You are a light warrior. You are an adventurer. You are meant for bigger stuff if you have found your way onto the twin flame path. And whether you're with your twin or not, you've met your twin or not, you're in separation with your twin, you are on this path. You volunteered for this before you were born, and you were given a chance till last year, August, to get off. If you were still on, if you still recommitted last August, you're on the twin flame journey with the highs, the lows, the storms, the choppy waters, the tornadoes. You have it in you to sustain yourself and get through. You will not be shown everything when you desire it. You will be shown, you will be given unexpectedly, synchronistically when you're ready and your partner is too. I'm one of them. We were given a choice when we were writing our blueprint. You have not yet had a past life regression session with me, but that is one of the sessions I do, the making of the blueprint. Hey Vibha, welcome. We were given a choice when our so called Kundali was being written. We don't just have one Kundali, we have in the when I do Akashic record readings, for example, or when I have gone to the hall of records, it has been massive. Now they have like transparent tablet like things since last 1 year, but before that I've actually seen books, giant books. It was beautiful. And recently I keep going to one in Egypt and inside a pyramid, and I'm digressing. We were given a choice. People think we have a lot of free will in this life, but like I've explained in my previous video, when you come up like this as a twin flame, this is going towards your twin flame and this is exit. This exit keeps bringing you back to in the same situation till you will choose this. You need to choose this. And when I asked why it is so important that the divine masculine or the divine feminine make that choice, is because otherwise the lessons will not be learned. When we are forced, when your mother says sit down and study, you pretend to study, you don't really study. But when you want to study on your own, nobody needs to tell you to study, then you go the length and the distance yourself. That was what they had told me many a long time back when I had asked, why is it so important? The divine masculines have signed up for it, they volunteered for it, so their free will is obviously not important in this matter. It's not important in the sense of They're just procrastinating, they're just delaying, they're prolonging their agony and ours. Their agony is different. The same karmic situation, the same lack of finances, the lack of happiness, ill health, depression, anxiety, all that is continuing and getting worse. They're prolonging it. But for the feminines, it is about when she knows I'm feeling something, I'm feeling ready, and then he doesn't show up. It's like her hopes crash and fall. But I always look at it as a spiritual workout. Every time there's a challenge, look at it as a workout for your emotions, for your mental faculties, and especially for your soul. It exercises that muscle of faith and trust on yourself, on your connection and God again and again and again. Now, recently, what happened with me was out of the blue, I could sense my catalyst, who, when I had first heard the label twin flame, I thought was my twin. Oh, that person must have been my twin flame because I went through XYZ things with him. And that's why I never researched at that time. I'm someone who, when I get to know something new, I research, I do, which makes me a good student and a teacher. What you're supposed to learn is what you teach. Oh, yeah. Since a lot of you keep asking me, how can I know my life purpose? The thing that you have, the aspect that you have struggled the most with, the place where success has eluded you the most, that's where they have given you every form of experience. For example, I have met all forms of soulmates, been my parents in I've seen the typical karmic marriage. uh, I have been with catalyst, I have been with a conscious partner, I have been with my twin, and because this is what I was supposed to not just go through, I was supposed to help others, teach others, and for that means you need to go through much more rubbish. No, much more experience, much more learning, so you can empathize with many more. You can have those many answers ready from what you've been through. So my catalyst energy suddenly started coming in, and I remembered a certain memory of mine, and it I started crying like it had just happened yesterday. And I was like, oh my God, what's going on? And I thought, okay, Mercury retrograde is happening. We're in the shadow period. I do go through things before others. Maybe it's got something to do with it. Maybe it is the Uranus moving into Taurus, which is my moon sign. Our brain immediately first starts finding some form of logic, understanding what's going on. And then I saw him in my dream, and then I knew that he's going through stuff, and a lot of information started coming to me. And what I realized yesterday and day before was, yes, I had healed, yes, I had forgiven. And what forgiven, I've always prayed. I think the lesson of unconditional love and accepting and all that, I was already that with my catalyst. No expectations, set them free, all of that, adored him, everything. And so I was like, what's going on, until I realized those timelines are being cleared out. Not only I was made aware that he is going through certain things, he had energies of I don't know how many people who are emotionally attached to him, women, family members, this, that, and they have sucked him dry. And so in my meditation, I helped him clear out those energies, and he was exhausted. And I could sense I'm embracing him like a baby, and I was like wrapping my energy around him like a blanket and just filling him with love. And when I said, after that, again, I could feel, and I asked God, I said, I have shut this door. Why are you not letting me, now I've collapsed the timeline as well, because I sent the violet flame throughout that entire timeline. Uh, And I was told, because now you don't need to shut the door on anyone. Everyone is going to come back as soon as they can handle your vibration, your soulmates, exes, your catalyst, your twin. They will all come back because your love heals. You heal. And now you know, one of my lessons, which is very peculiar because I have not heard anyone else have gone through this. But my lesson was not about being in unconditional love or about understanding or acceptance, strangely so. It wasn't about fears and anything. It was, I had no sense of self, or rather, I had no sense of self preservation. I would give and give and give till I die, till I drop. And I would not even blame if someone did not reciprocate. And so I had to be taught about balance of giving and receiving. Yeah, Vibha, you and me, in some things, we are very connected. We should probably do a live together. I have to figure out how, because I get certain messages, but at some levels, you get certain visions, and it's like so synchronistic. It's amazing. And we are here to work together. People, I found it weird because I went on Facebook after 1.5 year, and I thought, I should. I thought, maybe I should go on some of the old twin flame groups that I was in and share about Red Cord, because I'd never had shared it. I've never promoted myself, as all of you know, right? Uh, so I just put the link, and I asked the admins if it's okay. Um, okay, thanks, Ravisha. You're my techie girl, right? So I posted, and not one group or page, whatever it's called, allowed me to share my video. They want to share only theirs. There's so much insecurity. So what if another viewer, another YouTuber gets views? You won't lose yours if you are resonating with your people. Even if you stop resonating, those who are resonating with you will come to you. I am someone who does not share my emails and stuff like that, because a lot of energy vampires, they really are. And people just want free, free, free. They will not even, sorry to say, but they don't even realize that they are supporting your channel, your work, by giving it a thumbs up or sharing. And that could be, their form of energy exchange. It doesn't have to be money all the time. By commenting, you keep it in the loop, in the news feed, so that more people can get access to it. But they are like, oh, they'll watch, 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 but they won't give it a thumbs up even. I mean, I find that very, very strange. No judgment over there, but still, I find it very strange. um, I was very shy. I've recently just started writing comments to, certain people who I watch. And uh, unless I'm comfortable, and I have this, like with you both, I have this one-on-one, I feel I'm in, I don't know, like they said, I didn't have a sense of self. I have always felt I don't belong. I'm an intruder. I'm an outsider. I've never felt I belonged anywhere in my family, in my school. Even though I had a best friend, I was not the possessive kind that you have to be with me all the time. I belonged to many groups, and we had our own sign for when she needed to talk to me or when I needed to talk to her, or we both used to love reading. So to exchange, oh, this book is about this, and you need to read this. And she was allowed to have her own set of friends. I was allowed to have my own set of friends, and I belonged to many groups that I've never felt I belong to one, or that affiliation word. Because I was like, that's why I realized I've already been a 5D and above kind of person. I've always loved everyone pretty much equally, which is something it's going to shake the twin flame community over the next few years, is when they're going to be realizing that when they reach a certain level and they start realizing they love their twin. Yes, they know who their twin is, but they love their catalyst, their this, their soulmate, everyone equally. And they'll be all confused and say, which one is my twin? It's not about which one is your twin. Your heart already knows who's your twin. It's about, okay, first is when you love yourself, is when you can be capable of loving others without judgment, expectations. Once you love your twin and actually learn to be in unconditional love, then you have to look at everyone with that unconditional love. And once you start doing that and you start realizing they are not extension of me, they are me. Vibha is me, Ravisha is me, Pinky is me, Priyanka is me, Priya is me, Manish is me, and Yusuf is me, not an extension of me. The person I hate is an aspect of me, is me. You cannot hate them, you cannot judge them. We are going to be reaching that point, and well, a lot of people who are looking at twin flame as something as a destination are going to have their worlds kind of rocked. Yeah, exactly. We are supposed to smile, we are supposed to love them. How can we hate the experiences that have made you who you are, who brought you lessons and blessings, the first flutter of your heart, maybe your first kiss, who knows, that rose they gave you, that um even the recognition that you have so much love to give to someone happened because of someone, oh, it was unrequited love, oh, it was unreciprocated. That was the end, that was one line. Why are you letting your entire experience be defined by how things ended? You know what I'm saying? What about everything else that enriched you, the dreams you wove? It is a blissful experience. It is very scary. And the best thing or the worst thing about this is, after a point, you don't even need your twin to be in present in front of you. Like, I feel I'm in a relationship with an invisible Mr. X in Mumbai, that kind, Mr. India. He doesn't even have to be here for me to be in, there's suddenly the energies are romantic, are loving, we are communicating, telepathic, this, that. Then there is a distance, then there's anger, then there's purging. I'm like, I don't even need him around to have a relationship. You know what I'm saying? With twins, you reach that stage, because we have our own stuff to do before we can come together. And the reason my channel is the red cord is because I set the intention, those who are destined to be together, including in the physical dimension, are going to be my followers on my channel. I have set a very strong parameter, or strong perimeter, sorry, a protection, on my channel, that only those who are destined, those who are true, those who are willing to do the work can be on my channel. Yeah. I mean, I know people want popularity and numbers, but for me, it is about um, efficiency. It's about not wasting my energy. It's not about me getting a nasty comment and me then having to explain. And this, I block. I don't even bother to reply. I just delete, block, delete, block. I mean, I don't have the energy to sit and explain. If somebody gets triggered, good for them. Go and heal yourself. You're most welcome. Like, I'm doing you a favor by triggering you. So if you're getting triggered by a stranger and by a stranger's opinion, I mean, how insecure are you, right? Don't let others affect your mood, girls. So, but when you're crying, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of pain. The whole point of this was to tell you the last few days and the next few days and weeks, because of the planetary transits, a lot of stuff might be coming up. Don't be harsh with yourself, but don't be like, okay, this is BS, I give up. This is not getting us anywhere. It's getting us exactly where we need to be. For that, Keep checking yourself. Have I cleared out, be it about forgiveness, anger, grief, guilt, shame? Am I still allowing the world, the society, my religious beliefs, the political affiliations, anything outside of me affect me, influence me, dictate my choices to me? The only way to find your north is, do my insides light up? When I do tarot, when I do these live, when I do my recordings, I want to do it, be it for one, be it for both, be it for 100, be it for a million. My passion will not reduce my integrity. The amount of intensity I put into it is not going to change depending on how many people are online. That's why I record most of the time when I'm offline, because when I'm channeling, I'm not able to read. So in case I have missed any of your comment, I'm really sorry, because if you've noticed, I do keep looking up, like uh, I don't know, I might have rambled. I did have the intention of sharing from my life and a lot of things, but I wanted to answer some of these questions. If you have some questions, do ask away. I have a unique deck which gives very accurate answers. So if you want to ask something, and it can be personal, it can be whatever you wish to. It's like a personal reading live. Only 2 or 3 cards though. Sure, sure. I will ask if you have any question, Vibha. Otherwise, I'll pull at least one card out just like that. Babes, what is that question? Can you rewrite it if it is? Okay, for Vibha, what's come out? Scholar. Okay, what I'm seeing is you're going to be, and they said this year, I was going to say these next few days, but this whole year you're going to be increasing your learning. You might be going into, studying new, okay, they will not like the word occult or esoteric sciences, metaphysics. You'll be studying that a lot. You might even find a mentor who's going to help you. You'll be researching, so which means you might even be withdrawing a little. You might be spending time alone a lot, gaining perspective. Maybe you'll be writing down all the insights. I have answered that, Ravisha. Rewind and watch. I've answered that already. As soon as you asked, I had answered that rebellious one. I'm talking about. It was a cheeky reply. That's why I think you didn't get it. If you wanted the cards to answer something, you can, please. Oh, is I hope the link is fine, because last time I was doing a private reading and then I tried to get online for the twin flame things. My network kept acting up. I was like, oh my god, this Mercury retrograde is going to really kill me or something. I have a lot of private readings to complete, and so for Ravisha, I'm waiting for your question. I'm shuffling. Nothing I can think of really. So let's see what is. Oh my god, hang on. There's some cards that fell down. Ouch, we have 4 cards. Okay. Hmm. I'm sorry I missed that question. House. Let's start with death. This is a time period of major transitions for you, transformations for you. The way you have been looking at family life, your expectations, husband and wife and kids, the way you have been looking at this, Ravisha, this whole thing is going to go through a massive transformation this year again. They're saying year again. What else do I see? I'm sorry, when I'm shuffling and when I was picking up, I missed a few things. I will. Oh, I can do this, right? I forgot. Uh, what's this fear about my bike riding? I'm fine when driving car. What's that fear? Okay, let's see. What is Vibha's fear about her bike? Speed. Again, it's about not trusting, losing control, not being able to pace yourself, is what I'm seeing. Two cards have come up. The fear that you know, that is just projecting to you your fear of not being anchored, of being adrift, of that you might have to carry a burden. It is from the past, but this is the issue. What happens is it comes out in any way that it will mirror back to us that we're carrying this fear. You're afraid of losing control, of losing your grounding, your anchorage. You're afraid of picking up pace. You feel it is just two wheels, so it's not stable. You want everything stable and predictable and guaranteed, and then you can go ahead. But with two wheels, you feel, no, I might suffer for it. I might have to, you know, I might be crucified for it. Maybe it is something that was taboo. Maybe this is something that challenges certain people's idea of what is appropriate for a girl to do or not. Maybe you just need to clear out your family lineage beliefs about a girl's freedom. Maybe they think it's a very masculine activity. Okay, it is from your past life for sure. Alrighty, it's more than an hour now, and I don't know if I've covered everything I wanted to say, but it was definitely interesting. And I really hope you guys had fun and do watch. No, no, sorry, but if you believe that, so girls, I leave you with a lot of love and light. If you've enjoyed this, please do share in your groups or community or wherever if you can. And I really hope the answers have helped you. I love you so very much, so very much, and I look forward. I hope I'll be doing more of these because there's so many topics that we still have to cover. We have to learn about self-sufficiency fully. We have to know about what it is to be in a conscious partnership. And so, if you guys are interested, or if you have another topic which you would love to learn more or you want to know more about, please let me know. And I do try to incorporate your questions and stuff and make videos so that it reaches out more people. Because if one person thinks that question, trust you me, there are many more who want to know the same answer at the same time. We are all interconnected. We are all actually one. We It may happen sooner or later. Conscious partnership, great, because I really want to share about that. It's something that's not understood at all. And yeah, there'll be more personal shares there. So, oh, and I do know that a lot of you, Ravisha, especially this is for you. There'll be a lot of things and soulmates and someone you might have been looking at as a friend, where you might start developing feelings. Don't be afraid of it just because, oh, but is he my twin or not? Forget all that. Go ahead. This is going to enrich you. It's going to show you something. It's going to be very synchronized by the universe. And even for those who know their twin, they might be either people from your past due to the Mercury retrograde coming back in for closures, for tying up loose ends, false twins, who the people call false twin. I don't believe. I believe they just bring, they're there to help you heal. So there'll be a lot of new experiences. So be in your light-hearted energies. Enjoy the gifts the universe is sending your way. Till what's supposed to happen is going to happen. Where's your twin going, right? So leaving you with a lot of love, light, blessings. Look forward to your comments and